Okay, measures 24 and 25 are really just a repeat of what we've already done with these arpeggios. We got the major 7. That's measures 24 and 25, except for the first beat of measure 24 is sliding down from the 14th fret to the 5th. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, other than the fact that you should practice playing these two measures starting here on the 14th fret. And it's important that you practice those in time. In other words, you want to give just one beat, the first beat, to this slide. Set your metronome to whatever speed you're comfortable with and get with the groove. That's kind of comfortable for me right there. That's the slow, steady nature of this particular song. But you could slow it down much more. And even if you make mistakes like I just did, just stay with that steady pulse and groove. Remember, when you're playing, especially playing in public or whatever, and you're going to make mistakes, if you can just stay in the groove, keep the song going, people aren't going to notice that. So again, slowly. We're actually starting out in D. We have extra notes besides the arpeggiated notes, and we're going from D to D7 in measures 26 and 27, and we're going to play it like this. We start with this D. Let me just play through it first, and then I'll talk about the notes and the fingering. Or as I actually have it written, I've got, I think, a double stop written here. Okay? Note by note, we're starting on this D, the 5th fret of the A string, and then we're using the open E string, and then the 2nd fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, open, like that. And then we repeat it. Those are both exactly the same. And then we use a different one when we move into from D to D7. We're going to start with the flat 7th of D, which is this C note. So we move from this note. We're starting now on the C. We could do that. But instead, we're going to accent it with this B note. So we start here on the C. What is that? Starting on this C note, open E, 2nd fret, the F sharp, then we go to the A, and then we accent it with the B, back to the A, and then we go from the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, back to the E, like this. and we end here on the D note, the A note on the 5th fret. Now in the notation, I noticed that I ended with a double stop. And the reason for that is because I used 2 mandolins when I played this song, and one of the mandolins went high while the other went low. Kind of hard to do that, double stop. But if you practice it, you can get it. I normally don't do it, I just go with the D, which sounds just fine. Now I think in the notation I'm only showing hitting these 2 strings to begin with. Something like that. Basically, you're just holding the G chord. So if you hit any extra strings while you're picking this, it's not going to hurt anything. It's all going to sound, we're on the G chord in the progression, it's all going to sound out like that. You can actually strum all 4 strings and play this figure, but it'll sound so much cleaner if you pick out only a few of those notes, the ones that you like to hear. Doesn't have to be the same exact way as I do it. So we start out in fret, in measure 28, playing this G chord figure. And then we go into A7 by sliding this note up here from the D to the E, going into the E7 chord. So we're going to slide from the D to the E and play that double stop. That's the entire measure. You can do as I've shown in the notation. Start right here with this double stop. Start with this D double stop. And move to the G. Excuse me, the E. Double stop. Either way, the whole thing measures 28 and 29 go like this. That's it. Now let's fit that in with what we've learned so far, and we'll play the entire thing up until that point. That's it. So far this solo has made use of lots of arpeggios, and we're going to continue now with just straight, flat out, open-faced arpeggios. Very, very simple arpeggio. So what we're doing, we're ending. See, where did we end? If you'll remember, we left off here with this double stop. Now, if you look at where we are on the fretboard, we're here at the 7th fret and the 6th fret with the index finger. What we want to do now, I'm sorry, with the middle finger. What we want to do now is move our index finger a half a step above that to this A note which is the 7th fret of the D string, and we want to play that A arpeggio pattern. If you studied arpeggios, you're familiar with this pattern. So we want to do a 2-octave arpeggio pattern right here. Pretty simple, but of course you use your index finger, your ring finger, and your pinky, and even your middle finger down here when you play this pattern. So you start at the 7th fret, you use your ring finger at the 11th fret, index finger again at the 7th fret on the A string, followed by the pinky on the 12th fret. That's an A arpeggio. You can practice it like that. Okay? So when you play it through going up, you end here on the 12th fret with your pinky. What you're going to do now is catch the E string with your middle finger, and you're catching it right here at the 9th fret, and it's sort of a natural position for most of us from here to go here. So you're starting here on the E string on the 9th fret, and you're going from that 9th fret to the 12th fret with your pinky, back to the 9th fret, back to the 12th on the A string with the pinky. You can practice it like that in order to get a good clear sound. Okay, so again, looking at those, that 30th measure, you've got the A arpeggio, that is the 30th measure. And then when you get to the 31st measure, what you want to do is move this pinky down one whole step. That's 2 frets down from the 12th to the 10th. And you play, now you're going to play this G arpeggio. I think I've got it playing double stops here. You don't have to play the double stops. You could play just this note. And then you play this A double stop with your index and middle fingers. And that's the end of the 31st measure. So let's play those 2 measures again completely. Again. The reason I throw that double stop in sometimes, and I don't play it as I wrote it there because I'm playing it twice there. Instead I play it once, and then on the upstroke I hit only that A string at the 10th fret. That sound sort of sets you up for these double stops that I'm doing now. And we're going to start playing all double stops to end this solo. Final 2 measures, the end of the solo, we're going to play all double stops, and they're all down here in the same position, and they're moving from one set of strings to the next. This is an A double stop. We're in the key of D in this song. The 5 chord is A, the 4 chord is G, and they're all right here. So we ended the measure 29 with that double stop in A. Now we're going to play this double stop in D. That's the end of the solo, and that's the last 2 measures. We want to try to slide this down a little bit, even though there's not a lot of room. You can also add those open sounds because we're playing again in arpeggiated form here when we play this double stop. So here's the A arpeggio. Notice these 2 notes, these 2 notes are all part of the A chord arpeggio. And these notes are all notes in the D arpeggio. Likewise, those 2 notes are part of the G chord arpeggio. These are the root and the 5th. This is the 3rd and the octave. I'm saying that to tell you that when you play songs and you use, especially in the key of D, is a real cool D because all 3 of these double stops make the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. They can be played like this. And I'm just making the point that you can add any of these open strings in while you're playing around with these double stops.